anxiety is something that every student goes through. So for our first year students, I know that this particular exams may be your first end of semester exams, so you sure have to take a listen to this particular series. With me are two guests from the KNUST Counseling Center who will take us through this conversation. Let me move on to them and so they introduce themselves. On my left is a Reverend Minister. The floor is his to introduce himself. Father, may we know your name and your portfolio at the KNUST Counseling Center?
Thank you very much. My name is Reverend Father Stephen Kofi Jantua.
Oh.
Yeah, and I charge of the MasterCard, Chief Counselor for the MasterCard Scholars Program. But at the same time also work also in the closely with the KCC also. So I'm just both at with the KCC and also specifically for the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Now to my extreme left. I think I've met you a couple of times, Dr. Elizabeth.
Yes.
Doctor, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Please
So
introduce yourself.
my name is Dr. Elizabeth Anochiwa Safu Fojo. I am the college counselor for engineering. Yeah, I'm also a clinical psychologist at the KNUST Counseling Center.
Sure, thank you very much. It's nice to have you here this afternoon. Managing exams anxiety is something that we've spoken about over and over again, but this time around we are looking at other perspectives that, well, people may not so much explore. So, moving on to Father, you've been a student before, definitely. Could you share moments where you were anxious towards an exam and then how you managed it? Because I know that for students watching, maybe they feel it's quite new, it's so new to you and you haven't lived through that experience and then you are just advising them on it. But no, this is a lived experience and I'm sure you have gone through it.
Yes, I think you are right in saying that the anxiety is something that is part and parcel of our life, and we have a lot of worries, uneasiness and all that. So whilst you are preparing for exams, you have the area that you think that, oh, this area I didn't learn, and then I'm afraid that maybe I'll not be able to make it. And so those who are preparing for the first time, I think as I was also preparing for my own, I discovered that I was a bit nervous. I was a bit afraid that I will not get the required marks that I was expecting. So so what I did, that helped me was to make sure that I study and make sure that I get at least I'm able to cover a wide area. Because if we're not confident, because I was not even confident, I was not sure. But then what I did was to make sure that I put extra effort to learn, to be able to grab the materials. I think it made it easier. And then when I went to write, I had the confidence that at least I've learned, I've done my part. And that, itself, I think, gave me the assurance and the calmness of heart to be able to sit down and to write something.
Sure, yours was to study.
Yep.
Okay. Dr. Elizabeth, your personal experience and how you came in.
Yeah, so I also remember that going to write exams, like even after studying, I go in there, and especially when you're not sure the subject is deemed very difficult, you go and then you are shaking. Even after studying, I would shake and all of that. So what I usually sometimes would do will be to try and breathe in, like breathe in, slowly breathe out. Sometimes I think I would put my head on the table. When they say start work, I'll put my head on the table and try and relax my mind and everything. Then do some breathing exercises, say a short prayer, and most of the time I would try to calm myself down by telling myself, like, look, you can do this. I don't need 100%. 20% of it wrong, is okay. That's an A. So at least I have to put in, I would try and encourage myself and then write. and most of the time it's helped. Yeah.
Okay, sure. But Father, you've been in this institution for quite some time. Do you find that there are some religious factors that lead to maybe exams anxiety or students even not performing well? Because when I was in first year some years ago, I had some of my colleagues before even weeks before exams they will be in churches praying and all that, and then some of them allegedly their reverend ministers will be like, oh, let me give you this handkerchief, before you go spread it on the is it question answer sheet, and all the answers all the answers will be revealed. Do you have such instances? Could you share?
Yeah, I think what you are saying is just to give you some level of confidence and with the assurance that you'll be able to make it. So I remember when we were going to write exams, we always go with our pens and pencils and go to church and ask the priest to bless and then also sprinkle holy water on the pencils and the pen for us. An indication is that it's like, God is there, God will support you, God will be with you, and that takes away fear, and it calms you down also, as Dr. Anochi was talking about. So it gives you a certain amount of kind of assurance, boldness, that at least there's somebody out there who is going to help you to write. So no fear and all those. So these are basically the religious aspect of it, and people want to pray, say prayers and all that too. So they go for maybe a man of God to pray for, or at times maybe they spend some time praying, especially the difficult ones. And they also believe that maybe if the area, the course is very wide and broad, they cannot cover all. They have that kind of certitude that God will, wherever they study will come. So that is kind of a thing that they put also their trust in. So when you go and pray, at least even where the area that you have not studied will not come, the few areas that you studied, there is that kind of assurance that those parts will come. So that is also a kind of motivation that people have in the area of religious the beliefs and the part that religion play in that.
Okay, so for Dr. Anochiwa, do you also, as a clinical psychologist, do you also find that social media also contributes to the fear that people have during exams?
Yeah, sometimes to an extent. It may have an impact, depending on whatever it is that is on social media. I remember, I think sometime last year or so, I would watch students their status, and you find them trying to make the exam coming lighter for themselves. Like they talk about it and it's not so scary. Maybe they will pass a comment about a particular course that is supposed to be scary, and in a funny way that also helps them to try and they don't make it too scary for themselves. So in that aspect, it helps. But say maybe a paper, you've gone to write a paper and it didn't go well, or you come and write your answer and then you put it out there and other people see it and they didn't write it that way and you are scared. Like sometimes it scares other people. So in that aspect, I think that's how social media may play a way. It can be both good and bad for your psychological well-being. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's also move to how you can also assist students when it comes to balancing the pressure that academics come with, and then even their mental health, like their mental well-being.
Okay, so as in when they come, like when they're going to write exams.
Yes, before the exam, even during the exam, and then after the exam.
Okay, so during exams, for instance, even before, you have to start preparing. You should study early. I mean, I used to be one of those, the last minute learners association president, number one, but it's not helpful.
No.
It's not helpful. So you have to start studying way before. It's not now that we are going to enter the exam hall, then like you're flipping through pages. No, it's best to have learned prepared yourself first to go. You go early, make sure that you are calm and relaxed, and you calm yourself down. Then you enter. When you enter, you listen to instructions. When you are in there, you follow it promptly, and then when they say start work, you start writing. You can start with, ideally you should start with the easier questions first, because when you are getting the answers right, it boosts your confidence. It helps you to be able to write it well. And if you are having a difficulty answering a question, you don't waste your time. Move on. Move to the next question. Move till you are done, and then you can come back and do a recap of everything, read over it, and just submit it when you are done. And some people also would, right after the exams, they would go and sit down and be looking for answers. And well, I when I was a student, I wouldn't do that. I'll go and sleep and prepare for the next one until I'm done. Then maybe, because sometimes if you go and you check and you realize that your answer was wrong, it's going to get you demoralized, like going back to study and all of that. Sometimes it's difficult for you, because hey, even this one that I learned in Po, look at the answers that I've written. Then how much more? So it's, for me, it was always best when I am done with exams. I wouldn't even go look, no. I'll just go and sleep by somewhere and prepare for the next paper. That is what I would do. So these are some of the things that you can do. When you are seated in there and you find that you are too anxious, relax. Do some breathing exercise. You can just close your eyes, breathe in deeply and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, and relax. Tell yourself that, look, I'm brilliant, I'm good, I can do this. I'm very good with that. Encourage yourself and be kind to yourself. I keep saying this to students, be kind to yourself. You can do it.
Sure. I would love for us to talk more about the sleeping patterns and the techniques that you can use to manage your stress. But Father, are there any other strategies, like to add on to what Dr. Elizabeth said, for us, for students to manage the stress that academics come with? Are there the breathing techniques, the physical exercises, or whatever that students should do?
I think one thing that I would like to add is the cognitive aspect of it. Where you be able to reframe and restructure your thinking. A lot of people maybe think that since I didn't make it the last semester, the chances that I will not be able to make it. So that's kind of thought is something that will also even let the person's the anxiety intensify it, and makes the worry and then the uneasiness even be more over stretch. So that's Dr. Anochwa was talking about. It's more of letting the person change those kind of the automatic the thoughts that comes, so that instead of, oh, I'm bad, I'm not good, I'm not going to make it, I will fail, and all those things, to be able to change it and say, oh, come on now, I think I will do that. If I failed last year, doesn't mean that always I have to fail. No, I'll be able to make it. So by restructuring the person's thinking and thought, I think that will give the person a bit of confidence, in himself, that I will be able to make it, And even the area of behavior also, there is also the idea that once bitten, twice shy, So if the person did not make it one course, he feels that the same will go into the same semester is going to be the same, And so instead of the person being able to make it, he thinks that it's going to be the same. So I think behavior-wise, he has to that classical conditioning that because I had this wrong, so definitely it's going to be the same. Or at times they have a kind of reinforcement also, like an operant way of looking at it. Because people, I mean, were laughing at me, and I had a negative reinforcement and all that. So the same thing is going to happen. So I mean, that also demoralizes the person, and it makes the person nervous. It makes the person very uneasy and all those things. So all these aspects, the person has to be able to, change, those attitude and those behavior, and look at it from positive, perspective.
Like
that
positive image.
That
do away with the negative self.
And then if you have a guided imagery also, which is also another area, it's part of maybe a technique that you can use to be able to also encourage yourself, and they have something we call also you imagine the worst thing that will happen to you. I mean, even the exams, what will be the worst thing, and then if you're able to manage with the worst thing, then it means that you are sure that you'll be able to cope with that.
Sure. Thank you very much, Reverend Father. Now back to Dr. Anochewa. Take us through maybe some relaxation techniques, exercises, as we inch closer to the exams. You emphasize breathing techniques that you yourself will practice.
Okay. So, I think one of the most easiest will be the breathing exercise, the deep breathing exercises that you do. So what you can do is that I usually would close my eyes and then breathe in. And when I'm taking the air, I'm breathing through my nose and then breathing out through my mouth. So when I breathe in, I put my hand on my tummy and then breathe in. So I take in a lot of air, then you feel your tummy protruding a bit. Then you hold it for maybe some 5 seconds, and then you breathe out through your tummy, your mouth. So breathe in, then out, like that. In slowly, you do it slowly, about 5 times or as many as you want, and that is very helpful for you to, whilst you are adding the positive self-talk. So as you are breathing out fear, anxiety, whatnot. Like you're doing that and you're breathing in positivity. You see, so you can do that, and that way it helps you to calm yourself down. That is at least something very simple you can do in the exam hall, and you're going to be fine. It's going to help you.
Sure. And then one thing that people seldom pay attention to is sleep. Most of the time, during my time as a student, you find that whilst you're going to write your exam, that's the time you see people coming from the library with their eyes all red. That anything to say about that? How to balance that? Late night studying and not.
I mean, if you have started studying earlier, you won't be cramming up and doing the late night studies now. You get it? So, it's advisable you do it early. You start learning early, so that when you are getting to exams, you still maintain your sleep schedule. For me, when I was a student, I used to learn best in the night. Yes, but I will I make sure that I get enough sleep during the day. So if I know that I'll be waking up at 11 to study, by 5, 6 I'm asleep, I'm in bed. So I'll sleep till 11, wake up, study maybe an hour or 2, go back to sleep, because it's very, very important. Sleep helps your brain. It rejuvenates, it gives you the energy and everything that you need to be able to go back and write. Now, if you're going into the exam room with your eyes red, with so tired, you are going to forget the things that you've studied if you haven't learned. So that one is advisable. I beg, plan your time, schedule your time, get enough rest. It's very, very, very important for you.
And then please, you are not a nutritionist, but I feel this question is equally important when it comes to nutrition. most of the time, some may feel the need to stay awake, so taking caffeine and the coffee and all that. But what if I also have to eat well, so I go and eat fufu and then I'm dozing up? How do I manage that?
Well, for me, if I eat fufu, I won't doze. There are some people who would drink cocoa, the Emory cocoa, and they will sleep. Right? If you know you are like that, I beg, manage. Don't do that. Don't eat that heavy. And then go sleep in the exam hall because you're going to write your papers. You shouldn't be sleeping in the exam hall. It's also very, very important for you to eat. I've had that experience before. I didn't eat. I went to sit. And I can bet you that paper, I think I was only saved. In the beginning, I wrote down some pointers that I think I could remember. So the pointers that I wrote was that was way back in SHS. That was what the teacher saw, read and knew, like I could. That was at the beginning of the paper. By the middle, I was shaking all over. I couldn't write that paper. I couldn't. So it helped. That pointers that I did helped me. But you need to eat and eat well. Eat right. If fufu will make you sleep, I beg, stay away from it. You can buy some fruits and veggies to give you the nutrition that you need. Then you go right.
Can I add that to the area of the sleep?
Yes.
You know, I mean, I remember some years back. You see some people, they go for they call it mining, like they stay in and all the night studying. At times when you go there, they are some of them the books are rather awake and they themselves are sleeping. They think that you can't beat nature, you know. I mean, if you are really, and some they put their feet in the water so that they will stay awake and all those things. So people go through a lot of inordinate practices and all that just to keep themselves awake, and they feel like that will help them to continue studying and all that. But I think there's to extent that we can go, you know, and then if the body is tired and all that, I mean, it affects even your ability to grasp what you are studying and all that. So I think we have to give ourselves some sleep, some time. And then even I think the best thing will be, even if you are going to write, I mean, the exams the next day morning, in the evening, just take it so light, just relax, I mean, just sit down and try to see how you'll be able to recap, I mean, some of the other things, so that you don't push I mean, be too hard on yourself as you are. So just, I mean, take it easy. And then as far as the food is also concerned, I think you have to know yourself. I think something that we don't know much is our body self.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think it's something that really we need to know about us, our body self. What time is good for us, what time is I mean, I'm ready to assimilate and all those things. I think it's something that at least by now we should be able to know our bodies so that we don't overstretch it. I mean, it will not help us.
Okay, sure. That's still on you, Father. You know, during exams too, there are some unexpected challenges. You can find yourself going blank. Sometimes a question, the moment you turn the question paper, now you're mashed. So such moments, how do we handle it?
I think, I mean, what I would like to suggest is that I want to give this is something maybe to seem funny, but now directing somebody. I mean, when we were at DOS, and we had recommended somebody who was in the engineering. I think the question was so much that he couldn't answer. But the issue was that what he wrote was more on I think he wrote something on the Bible, you know, and it has nothing to do with the engineering course at all. So I think, I mean, they refer the case to me because they think that maybe there's something wrong with the person in terms of his psyche, because why is the question is engineering, we are writing something about the scripture or something. But when I met the guy, I saw that he was just completely, he didn't have anything to write, so he felt that. But to me, if you don't have anything to write, just look at something that will be reasonable. Yeah, even if you are blank and some of the questions you don't have much idea. At times, one thing I noticed that if you are in class and are you able to pay attention, I mean, if you are somebody who has attended, I mean, your frequent lectures and all that, at least even if you will not be able to have a detailed, information to give, at least you have something that you can write around it, But at times, because we feel like, oh, my point, until the person they will give up completely. But it's not like my point, but some at times you have to use your creativity, being innovative also. I mean, if even you are point to just sit down, and then when you are calm down and you are very creative, you see that you'll be able to make something out of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I also want to find out from any of you, are there maybe resources available that students can also utilize? For me, I know that it's best when you're able to study in groups. Maybe you have peer-to-peer supports and all that. Just to, I mean, you know that you and your colleagues are learning the same thing or something of that sort. Are there any other resources on campus that you feel students really haven't utilized enough to help with the academics?
No, I think before maybe you can add also, we have. That's why we have the peer mentors. Here, I don't know whether I think cases we have peer mentors. We Mastercard also we have peer mentors. So, and then what we do also, if you are having the difficulty or challenge, the peer mentors will be there to help. If they can assist you, they also create some study groups they have. Which they also fall on them and they'll be to help them. Even the TAs they are there. They make themselves available if you call for it. I think one thing that we need is to cry, to ask. At times we feel that we are too much of ourselves, so we don't need the help of anybody. But I think we don't possess the knowledge and everything. No, we need to also depend on others. So the interdependency is very important. So you can ask your friend, somebody who has, and then perhaps the person will be ready and willing to be able to assist us also.
Sure. Doc, is there anything else?
Yeah, I think what he said, that's basically it. A lot of students also, are not able to utilize the tutorial systems very well. Sometimes, I don't know, they are not able to, they don't know that if you go and talk to your academic advisor or to your HOD, they can help you with some of these resources available. So I think they should ask questions, talk to people, come and talk to your counselors if you even need the help. We can also assist and facilitate some of these processes for you. So these are some of the resources that.
But do you find that students often visit the counseling center when it's nearing exams, or sometimes I feel that students do not really seek help, as in coming to the counseling center and all that. Do you find that during exam period they come to you often? They come to you with exams maybe?
Well, with engineering, most of the time, no. I think a lot of them, during exams, you find a lot of students getting hospitalized. I think that is what it is.
I was going to say the same.
Yes, that is what happens. They hardly really come to us, at least with my experience. I don't know if other has.
I think the same thing. It's when it gets to the exam. So when it's examination period, what we do is we go around because we know there will be a lot of casualties. I mean, then in that area, those that will be hospitalized, those that we have to be, having a mental kind of issues and all those things. But we have been trying anyway. I would say that the number is augmenting a bit as far as the scholars, the students seeking for counseling, because now with the peer counselors and all that we put in place, so the peer counselors will encourage their peers to go for, because they will deal with them for the beginning, and when they see that it's beyond their capability, and that they will make the reference to us. So it helps a lot, and a bit increasing the number of those who are seeking for counseling. Not during the exams though. I'm talking about the normal time.
Sure, but as we inch closer to our conversation, is there anything you wish to add? Maybe any strategy or advice at all, or something unique you've noticed that you want to draw students' attention to, Dr. Elizabeth?
I'm just, what I would just say is they should just take good care of themselves. They should be kind to themselves. They should just look out for themselves. They should start studying now. If you haven't started, I beg, start doing it now. Because in fact, it's already late, but start now. It's better late than never. So start, and then hopefully believe in yourself. You can do it. So yeah, go for gold.
Sure. And Father?
Yeah, but I think, I mean, I will also want to say that please don't try to use any foul. Try to, put all your wager, all your resources on trying to use a foul means of getting through, because I mean, KNUST, you will not succeed. To me, it will be just a waste of time. So use the available time that you have. Just be able to go through your nose and then study. Don't try to, at this time, you don't have to, you just, just skim through it and learn by what you call mnemonic. Just trying to, use some acronym to summarize your points and hold those points tightly, so that as soon as you get to the examination hall, you put down the point and then you can, they'll be able to elaborate, to expand them. So I would just want to suggest that please just be calm. You'll be able to do well. You will make it. It's not something beyond you, and it's different from when it's maybe if you are doing the WAEC exams, it's too broad. Here, the lecturer have been in class, you know that, and you know the course contents. You have. So I'm sure if you are able to pay attention and take it easy, I'm sure you'll be able to get there.
Sure. Thank you very much. So, as we wrap up on our conversation, well, you have to study, like my two guests from the KNUST Counseling Center said. And then one thing you also have to realize is that they are always there for you. You can walk to their offices anytime. They are located at the commercial area. And aside that, to peer, they also have peer counselors in the various colleges, right?
Yes.
Sure. So how do they get to know their peer counselors?
So usually the peer counselors have an attarded way.
Oh, fine.
So you have it's usually red, maybe something like this, but red, and you have your caring friend written at the back there. So or they have a fabric with logos in there that you can see, and most of the time they introduce themselves in their classes and all around, so you find them. Yes,
sure. So do not hesitate to reach out to them in case you have any problem. You shouldn't suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer alone. We are always at your doorstep, ready to be of service to you. And that's how we wrap up on our conversation this afternoon. Prioritize your mental health and please study hard so that you pass well in these exams. All the best to everyone, especially for first years who are taking their first end of semester exams in this university. And have a nice afternoon and happy Ghana month too.